Dudu has to carry this game. Like, his equalizers have to deny entry to team fights. They have to slow down the approach of this Gwen Wukong, because if you can use the equalizer to keep those melee champions away from your Yunara, and Dudu pushes in, the timing of this for Rich, a little bit inconvenient, you could say. Andel's actually going to set a trap here. This could work out incredibly well if they don't read it. And, I mean, Dudu just has no idea.
Hide on bush here. Sponge is here as well. Dudu has to flash. That's not the flash you were looking for, and now he is absolutely dead as the exhaust comes through. Got a little bit close there, but still, first blood is given over to Rich just to trade it back.
This kind of backfires a little bit.
This was on Vision. Pyosik cleared a ward. We saw him doing that, and then he just started it up. Meanwhile, level 6 hit for Rich. Bunch of needles coming out towards Dudu, and he nearly just dies. Has to back away only because Pyosik is here, but that's just a leash on the dragon. So DRX say, we're winning the bottom lane. We're getting the dragon. The mid lane, you know, it was basically a trade. It's not a big deal that Yehu is low because he's getting everything else.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, without Prio, it's hard for Bulldog to just hold his ultimate and try to come over and help out the Drake, and then try to deny Yehu from getting over there. I mean, he's not really that behind.
Yeah, no, he's fine. But he did miss the cannon, so he's behind mentally.
He didn't hit the cannon and then end up getting all in by Yehu and lose control of the lane. So I think he's like calling worth on that one. Would have liked to get the cannon, but...
Sponge just doing 3 grubs on Vision.
Yeah, Quantum is caught as well. There's nobody here.
Yeah. Quantum's like, shouldn't we do something about this, guys? Everybody's like, no.
On the Rumble inside. Rich does not have Flash, of course, but Exhaust is going to be very helpful here in this potential defense. Doesn't have a stacked Q, is just going to ult.
Yeah, Dudu already tanking the turret, and he's not going down. Rich as the turret shot gets him, and Pyosik even takes one for good measure. The dive is just a 1-for-1.
He's the one who gets the kill and not Dudu, though, which feels pretty frustrating. An assist worth of gold will go over to Dudu, at least in this case, but see if this is a catch.
Oh boy, Yehu has this all too. Bulldog even takes a turret shot, and that's a kill going over to Sponge. Just a bit over-aggressive.
Particular case, as they are going to try to come over and contest this dragon, but I just don't see the angle here.
It's too late. It is going to be a Chemtech Soul, by the way. Andal trying to engage, but they just disengage because Yunara does Yunara things, and the Rel just kind of hops away as well. They're going to fight anyway. Let's see how that goes, because I think as DRX, you could just look for Yunara and engage onto her, as now that's a very nice wombo combo from the side of DNF, but they're really not doing all that much. Finally, the Timbers does come down, but it's 2 kills to the side of DRX. The issue, though, being is that Berserker is still alive.
Now DRX regroup faster, will be able to get this Herald. And it's, you know, just another unfortunate objective loss here. I mean, DRX have objective feats of strength. They have all the grubs. They have both dragons. Now a 4th in the bag. If there was a 4th objective feat of strength to pick it up, they'd grab it. This is an ideal scenario for them. Berserker doesn't quite have his ghost back, but it's almost ready. He has ult at the ready too. They need to be really careful how they engage this. Dudu's equalizer placement could just be for zoning if they can get that dragon low.
All right, just doing a ton of damage to this dragon. Andal gonna go on in, just presses his ult on a Berserker. They're zoned away, but a lot used here by the side of DRX is down to Andal. And finally, the Wukong will follow up, trying to just chip away at that front line. They already got the Annie. The burn on a Pyosik is enough. And they pulled off of the dragon at the same time, as Pyosik wasn't there for the smites. And so DRX take another big fight here and another dragon. That's what they call him, Optimistic Andal. But, yeah, just exerting pressure, I guess, fighting over banana brush control. There's no objective here just yet, but there is Otacon, so just trying to fight for bottom side.
Teddy?
Yeah, Teddy gonna try to turn around as his team comes up. Here comes Quantum. And now a stun on Andal. Looks very much caught out. They have tons of stuns, and it is going to be enough to take down the Nautilus, so nicely done by DNF.
I'm really on the hope train right now, Valdez.
Okay. Gonna be secure here from Pyosik as now the engage comes in, but that's onto the Wukong. That's not the target you want this time, Quantum, as now Pyosik's gonna go in, provides a front line for Berserker, doing a ton of damage here on the left side. That Featherstorm was totally useless, and the Feathers do not get clawed back onto anyone. DNF win a fight.
All right, look at that gold lead vanish, down to 300 now. And I don't think Rich is going to be able to do anything to contest here, even with Andal's help. They're just going to have to back out, even maybe looking to try to push the mid-turret, but Bulldog's one step ahead. Yehu looks for the steal with the weirding, isn't going to be able to get it. And they're going to actually pull to Otacon. This means the mid turret should go down. In fact, it will, but I think this is definitely going to be calling worth here for DNF if they could secure this.
I mean, they're already getting poked down a little bit. They got to be extremely careful about this, even in a 5v3 situation.
I mean, Sponge coming over.
Ult's coming in. Like, look at Piosik's health bar. This call, he's just dead. Yeah, who just kills him? And they don't have a smite anymore, and guess who's coming on over? Rich trying to do some damage, but he's going to be taken out. Doesn't quite work out. They only get Piosik. This Otacon will go the way of DNF. There's no smite, but it doesn't matter because Sponge is not here either.
Yeah,
very grateful. I've been very grateful to have so many of them. And Quantum is trying to join the list right now. We have an equalizer here in mid, so they're trying to set something up. But yeah, I mean, they oftentimes call the shots, so we see a lot of engaged supports. And
his ult available as well. I don't know about this one, DRX. It's gonna have to be a great turn. Sponge no flash, but he's in position to Warrior's Trickster ult.
Oh, they're just gonna try to burn it. They're not even turning. Okay, the turn is kind of coming in here. A bit of a go on to Piosik. He's getting low. He flashes out of the pit, and that means there is no hope for this Baron. And a bunch of needles coming out. It looks like Rich is too low. They should be able to take him down, as does Berserker. But DRX got a full Baron out of that play.
Yeah, surprised to see the turn away anything further. See what the Baron gets done here for DRX, though, because they do not have any tempo on the map right now.
Sponge doesn't have his...
Flash is so close!
He doesn't have his W either. He's just dead. That was very, very sad, very silly. 5-man engage as a team, right? So...
I mean, they're going to get the inner turret and top lane with the Baron buff. Yahoo just camping this. He had TP, so he can make the call to do this. But it's in trade for Berserker picking up a turret bottom side. Sure, not the same level of turrets and outer, but he's got so much money and the main character here. And DNF have been playing around him so incredibly well. And even though we think, and I think we're right, that DRX have a great comp in Yunara, they haven't been able to group up and fight properly. The Baron turn was really poor. And we're just not seeing a normal 5v5 out of this team. You know, we haven't since really the mid game.
Yeah. I mean, if they press their buttons on the right targets, still an option. Andel going to go in here, but that is on a Quantum, who is going to smartly disengage. The rest of his team had already just kind of run away.
I mean, this is a Chemtech Dragon here. DNF shouldn't overcommit, but I mean, they have a nice angle to potentially flank.
All right, looking for Andel here. That's a ton of burst damage. They take out the support of DRX, but immediately down goes Quantum as in goes Yehu, kind of going insane on the Aurora, and not necessarily in a good way. He's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, Dudu is going to be pushed away from the fight.
I think he could still escape, though. I don't know about a re-engage here from Teddy. Does have his ult and flash, but the target selection, I mean, who are you really going to go on here? Berserker down his summoners, but he's got his dash back, and they've got an Annie here. This is a really risky situation for DRX. They want the soul badly. I just don't know if it's realistic.
I mean, Dudu has TP, so eventually this just becomes a 4v3. They smartly just wait, and the second the TP comes out, maybe DRX were just kind of posturing to make sure he TPs in.
You know, big ult. I am liking the position here for DNF quite a lot. I'm just going to get this inner here for free.
Yeah, Piosik actually pushed through the enemy jungle, put down a control ward, cleared out everything, and kind of said...
And I don't think there's a scrappy fight where two people walk out on both sides. I think it's going to be a sweep, whoever wins this fight. The Quantum angle
of the engage here. It's on the Bulldog. I mean, that is a decent target, but he gets the Timbers out, and that's not going to be great. They finally do get Bulldog, but look at this front line just burning. Teddy goes, Teddy nearly takes off Berserker's head, but that means that he loses his own, and now Rich is going to, go golden. But I think eventually, yeah, he just goes down. DNF win a very important fight, and we'll look at the Baron.
Yeah, they are pretty low here, so, you know, with the timers of the death respawn timers for DRX, I think an end could have been possible if they had a wave, but they don't. You can see the wave is actually in mid. Yahoo pushed that out, so they're just going to get Baron. Can reset full, use that Baron to siege the base. See, I just don't think jinxes are going to be real in this one. I think DNF done it, Valdez. Like, can confidently say...
It's just the fact that DRX are also at the same time not really hitting those beats that they need to. Like, even that fight where Andel kind of just went in and died and just pressed his R on Berserker, like, that was fine in the mid game.
It's a lot of healing and shielding power that might not necessarily matter in this game. Man, he's got a shield. You know, there's some...
Rel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And
if they get that is going to be quite big for their chances in this game. All right, looking for something. We got the big zoom in from Jonah Strong. He could feel it as they're trying to go for the front line. Pretty much anyone, and they're just going to press their buttons on a sponge. And the follow-up from Quantum is huge. And the equalizer as well on top of it. DNF are too big to fail. And it is actually coming true. They will win game number 1 as Yehu is also taken down. And DNF are crushing it. The fans are already ready to cry. It's just game 1.
Did not finish today. Did not fail. 909 Berserker. He is the man to carry this one, but his team set him up in every scenario, and it's a crushing victory here. DRX had a nice lead, but it all fell apart. DNF, another win on the board for Unara.
I feel like DNF smashed this draft out of the park, over DRX especially.
Like the game 1 draft where we thought, okay, this is really tough to play, the Unara, they have all the tools. Late game have been two things that go well together today. Did not work out for his Senna game last time around, but...
what happened here? Ondil's just dead!
Ondil's having a rough day, man.
First blood given over to Quantum. Just try to farm it out, but he got baited himself. Berserker gets engaged on here in the top lane, as now going to have to use that heal to get away.
Get Rich here. Like, Rich is donezo, man. I
think Dudu could almost just kill him alone, but either way, he's going to have Skarner here to help out. Pilchik with the last hit. As Berserker just backing right in front of them. My guy. Gets down. Waiting in the wings, but the wave is being cleared, so they don't really have a wave. Here comes the Talia as well, and they kill the Senna before any of that happens. Yehu gonna eat 2 turret shots, but he does get away.
Atlas would know.
It looks pretty cool. Yeah, he would know. He's like the one guy on our team that just always kind of knows. Going in onto Quantum. He does not have a splash. He has a ton of healing, but there are 3 guys here ready to eviscerate him, and eventually they will do just that. Sponge says, well, I'll take the kill if you don't want it, Teddy. And Sponge does pick up 1.
Berserker not even gonna ult. Ondil, are you crazy today, or he's really...
Oh,
it might
picked
work.
out of midair, and yeah, he still has his ult, so he's totally fine. Pioshik goes for the Impale, but very much overestimating the amount of damage that he and Berserker could do to an Alistar with ult.
Yeah. Consolation, but really did not expect that to go as well as it did, but the Alistar ult is still powerful. And that is also going to be another objective picked up here for DRX. You know, that's where you really want to be making sure you can find something, or Herald, right, which is also spawning in 90 seconds here. Rich does have, right now, his teleport, as Pioshik is caught, question mark?
Yeah, he's getting exhausted. They have the Jin as well for the extra damage. The Sentinel is going to help out a bit, but Pioshik just walking in a straight line, didn't have anywhere else to go. And that makes it easy for another kill to go over to Teddy.
Down he goes.
Little play down here. Bulldog was, well, bullying Rich. We got TP coming in, but how long is that going to take from the Scion from the top lane? Bulldog, very nice divide. Talia coming on over. Dudu does get here, but it's 4v2. Until, well, the rest of the team comes in, but Bulldog is already dead. And so DNF responding big time to that play just to lose Bulldog.
Yeah, that really hurts.
And she gets played pretty often into his ear, or at least did.
So DRX are going to get this Herald for free with the timing of both the control they had topside, that pick in the team fight win bottom, the TP that was available for Rich gets him back up to the top side. I think contesting this with DNF's comp would be ridiculous, and they know it.
On the money and on the ball there.
Yeah, a lot harder than it actually looks.
Oh, it's just Hex Tech Soul. Okay. Very different from game 1.
Yeah, that's the high roll on the Double Dragon for the Scion in this case. And there's nothing to fight for here. Just want to remind DNF.
Yeah, you don't really have to fight for this vision. Taking a bunch of damage already is Pioshik, but so did Ondil. We got a wall coming down here. Pioshik will be forced to take a bunch of damage and just rock him into the wall. Meanwhile, Ondil is also taking damage on the front line. Sponge, he's the fed one, but he's nearly going to go down. Flash on in from Dudu, gets the job done. And, well, Rich, I mean, trying to frontline here. They got a block for Bulldog as, nearly gets Quantum as well on the backside. But actually a pretty good fight for DNF. They win it, and they get away. Meanwhile, Berserker just farming more souls onto Teddy. Already at 57 here at 20 minutes. He's on pace.
Out his ultimate. He's going to use it to run over, but he won't have it for the fight.
Yeah, we have a wall coming down, so Yehu says, cool story, but the Bard ultimate gonna keep it alive. pyosik, he's in the pit. They stop it at 3,600. That's very smart from DRX, but already a ton of damage done to Rich. And that means that maybe it wasn't that smart after all. It's going to be a flip, though. The knockup goes on a Sponge. The timing isn't there. And 5 health, and Sponge gets it. That's all you need. Tons of damage, though, from Bulldog on the right side. Impale goes down onto the front line. Sponge will be the sacrifice, but he picks up the Otacon.
Now, can they get the rest of these members out? I think likely yes. Not the greatest chase comp here. They're going to look for a shove.
I mean, they should just be able to get Quantum here. I think reaching a little bit too far.
And Bulldog was the one who had ult. You know, if he was the one who was wrapping around there, they do have enough prio. And with the rapid fire cannon done here for Berserker, I think they're starting to actually be able to just straight up 5v5 here.
Let's see how this goes. Andil, nice angle, but he's going to be spotted, and now it's maybe just going to be another flip here as nice Bard ultimate on a Teddy, and that's the one guy, the setup, but the wall actually going to interrupt the Scion, but still the front line here of DNF looking pretty strong, pretty healthy, as Dudu just getting it. Big 3-man knockup from the side of Andil, but the Dragon goes over to DNF. Bulldog on the run, he gets taken out. And now they just exit. They got the Dragon, though, and that's going to extend this game for so long. Yehu just goes in, and it's actually going to work out amazingly for the team. They get 3 on the backside of that fight, and it looks like they'll get a 4th as well.
And I can't even fault pyosik for the play. Like, you know, that would seem like a slam dunk, but he just has enough health to get away. I don't even think he had Seraph, since this is very funny. Chase the Scion. Chase the Scion. Keep chasing that Scion.
Yeah, there's no Baron, so...
And then run from the Scions, ironically. That was a fight that looked like it maybe could have actually been the fight that gives DNF the win. Like, they have a win for DNF, actually a big win. Teddy caught.
Looking for Teddy, but the issue is, yeah, nobody can really follow up on that. A little bit of a overreach here. Andil has to go into his own ult. Meanwhile, the knockback here onto the front line is gigantic as DNF just hanging out, and they get punished for it. Down goes the Skarner, and Dudu's just ulting away. Meanwhile, the rest of DNF just trying to run, but the lockdown here from Teddy is there. So we do have some healing. Dudu looks like he is tanky enough, as another big shot will come through, but they got pyosik.
Dudu does have TP, but without the jungler. With no jungler here, they just have to look for the fight win.
Yeah, I mean, Andil just going to flash away, and I think he just smite this down and go away. So that's totally fine for DRX.
That turret is barely standing here, but I think that alone will be enough of a deterrent of DNF for the follow-up. To still lose the objective, they will get this turret as consolation. Bounty is, as you mentioned,
got a bit there on Dudu. And is now looking for the angle here on a Rich, but he is quite fast. Just going to avoid the ult. Not really going to amount to too much. I like the idea of trying to look for a pick, especially with the Baron push coming on in. And now we have a wall coming in. The knock back on the wall gets sponged into the base. Not sure if they actually wanted that. pyosik going to flash on in. It's a trade of a couple, but down will go Dudu. And DRX will like that one.
Incredible synergy between Andil and Yehu in this, though. Like, Yehu is just like, just go on him, man. It doesn't even matter. I'm going to flip him. It's done. I have the Tank Buster build, as you mentioned. And he doesn't quite have the Void Staff yet, but he still hurts. And, I mean, Teddy is also huge. And with no ult to delay the game from Quantum here, he's still got half that cooldown left. They can continue to siege. If they get any picks here, I think they just end. And maybe they just slowly push anyways. 40 seconds left on this Baron. They decide to play it safer and pull back for soul point push. So I think DRX should be careful about overcommitting here. There are several wards that Bulldog and Dudu can TP to, but they're just going to go on pyosik.
Yeah, they're going to find pyosik here once again. The ult's totally going to miss. This Bard is also a miss so far in this game, and Quantum should be going down here as well. Rich has got the angle on a Bulldog, who is Azir, and has to flash anyway. The two of them, though, I mean, Azir and Senna do so much, but there haven't been any fights where they can really show off their stuff. Now, 10,000 gold the lead. DRX, as long as they don't do a DNF, they should be totally fine in this game. They're going to take down all 3 inhibitors and take the Hex Gates out.
DRX, super minions, pushing towards the base. And Rich in the lane where the only defense was there for DNF, where they kind of had that one pushed out a little bit. He's like, nah, not really. I'm on that. And with Baron, TP for Rich, just going to TP back to the bottom lane.
determine how it goes. I feel like they should sync up the waves a little bit better. Ondil very low, actually. Going to take a turret shot on top of it all, so gets redemptions. In goes Rich. He's just trying to find the angle, just trying to push in and take down the turrets. And Dudu quite low, actually. They have so much ability to get through the Scion as the last shot is going to get it done. Berserker lands that ult. You see the chase here from Rich. In goes Bulldog onto that backline, but he's just getting shredded himself. And Berserker just distracted trying to kill an Aatrox. It's not going to happen. The wallets are just too large, and we will have a series on our hands. Game number 3 is on the way as DRX take down game number 2.
On getting into either the backline and taking out Berserker or just re-engaging. I think the re-engages and the follows that DRX can have with their own stolen Galio ult are really good. And both have monikers that have the list at the end of them to dictate their ability to analyze, although one of them, Valve Analyst, a little bit more respected in the...
Yeah, it was Galio ult too, so he doesn't even have to take any risk. He can just sit in mid lane, wait. He doesn't have to face check anything, and he can just press ult when it's time. As now TP is coming in, Nocturne ult utilized. That's the knockup with the Lulu and the Nocturne. And there's the Galio ult from Yehu. But now the counter engage is coming in. The first blood goes to Kaisa, because now Teddy in a bunch of trouble. He has to run away, gets cast and flagged to death by the Jarvan. And DNF respond excellently to the setup here of DRX on the Grubs.
Berserker here, chased down by Rich, but he won't be able to do anything. He cannot follow further. Would put himself at risk. Wants so desperately to, get a consolation back deny or a wave here, and that is not going to happen. So 3 kills now in the hands of the side of DNF. Maybe you could be like, oh, they play through that. Maybe the Silas steals an ultimate, and Yehu joins as well, and they start bullying Dudu. Instead,
what's going on up here? Rich, yeah, he thought he was safe with his Nocturne hanging around. The second he backs, they go in, and Dudu kind of just sets it up by himself with the alley-oop dunk from Pyoshik.
Late game,
shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hullabaloo.
Some poor decision-making, some lack of judgment. Is playing through the Sivir, Prio, and push, and Teddy getting big. That's the only way. And it's going to require getting some sort of objective to buy time. Here we go.
This is one way to maybe do it. Caught Galio is going to be feared up, but is pretty fast. With the phase rush, he gets over to Pyoshik. And Pyoshik is just here to essentially say, get away from my friends. It's about the next dragon fight, especially.
I am as well, as it is Hextech Soul again, and this is not favorable.
Yeah, I mean, Bulldog's just outplaying him. Yeah, who's just not hitting anything.
And he's on a 1v1, by the way.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd. The flash comes out, but the Cataclysm is there. Yehu with the Kingslayer staying alive. Do they have the damage? Is really the only question, and they do. Absolutely. As Pyoshik comes over, and they secure themselves a kill. DRX will look to start up the Rift Herald in response.
Quantum is here with Flash ult. They're going to TP Richens. That should make it a little bit safer. I guess they will get away with this.
Yeah, let's see how they do. We do see a bit of damage coming in from Berserker and Quantum. They don't have to be there. Going in onto the Kaisa. The ult comes out and the flash, which is another reason why it's not the greatest target out of the 80 carry pool to go in on. Another great wolf point, and they didn't get the eye.
DRX are going to start this up to try to be the first one to catch that engage.
Yeah, I mean, Pyoshik's standing right here. Nobody's really doing anything. There's the Cataclysm on a Teddy, but the counter with the Paranoia, and the Redemption does come in. The Cask hits that backline, but it's just looking like a bit of a Galio fest in here as the stolen Galio ultimate. Berserker's in a lot of trouble. The smite does go to DRX, but Yehu does get taken out. A very close fight at this point. Big taunt at the very end, but there it is, the kill from Pyoshik. He finds his timing after Bulldog sets it up perfectly. And yes, DRX did get the Drake, but DNF get another fight win.
Teddy did so much in that fight, even without the Flicker Blade that we were talking about his inventory. His 5,000 damage, is able to do incredible work. Yehu is not able to connect his chains in the fight, but he's like, nah, I got this. I'm going to get in on top and take out that pesky carry, but unfortunately it's still not enough. Pyoshik with 5 kills. Pyoshik is here to say no ifs, ands, or buts, but here comes the engage with the Lulu ult.
Yeah, going in onto the Nico. Again, not the best target, but it's going to work. They're going to get Quantum.
If no one else is there, I guess eventually they get him.
Yeah, and honestly, maybe he is the best target. I think actually the Nico maybe an easier target even than the Kaisa.
And they can actually TP the Sylas in. He gets the turret and will be able to join the fight. And no paranoia. I mean, the timing of this, when it comes back, I think the Otacon might just simply be gone.
Yep, it looks gone. I mean, Sponge is thinking about it, but you can see he's very hesitant. Now they're pushing in as a team, but they see the health bar and they're like, oh, we got to get out. Nope, 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 we're done with this. That's an Otacon given over for free, essentially, over to DNF. They want to take a fight. They're just diving here as Rich is blown to smithereens. And now we got Sponge jumping straight into the Galio and just dying. DNF are smothering this team and it's not even close. 11-3, 12-3 as DNF take a huge fight after the Otacon.
And it looks like we may have a few more of these last chances left in DNF here in round 4. DNF crushing the fight. And they just knew those critical cooldowns are gone.
Other leads that they've had that have been like extreme late game, you know, they're pushing in, it's 40 minutes, it's been a grueling fight. They have so much momentum. It's
like this time they have a comp that's pretty basic, straightforward. It hard engages, it kills.
All right, finding it, Quantum sets it up. Rich gonna take a bunch of damage. Now the Nocturne ultimate comes in. Pyosik taking a bunch of damage himself, but it doesn't quite matter as Teddy frontlining just dies.
But, Teddy is not, and so many resources used there in the attempted defense. Dragon goes over here for free. They do not break the base.
But now the ward is there, so DNF got to be careful.
I mean, they get paranoia in. This is actually a bit scarier than it should be.
It's just like full vision on the objective. So meanwhile, we got Teddy just by himself as in goes Sponge, but trying to flash, trying to get the smite down is not going to happen. The wallets are just too big. DNF are getting it done. Teddy just died by himself on the bottom side to doo-doo.
They just could not get access. Wanted so desperately to. It might be Pyosik, to be honest. Like, his synergy with Berserker in the first game, but I don't know, man. With Berserker having this Kaisa performance, plus the fact that he just made Yunar look incredibly broken and untouchable, Chun-Chunny Hail, like, played slow or something like that. I don't know.
Because it's like 12,500 gold and they're worried, maybe. Honestly, that's fair. But again, this is a very different feel. A very different vibe, even, to the game that they threw.
They are certainly crossing their T's, dotting their I's and J's with this, like, Bulldog top push to look for third inhibitor.
Dotting their O's as well, potentially, depending on language.
Yeah, potential umlaut situation. A's as well as an accented I, even.
How about an accented E?
What about an accented C? Accented in? Maybe they're flipping an exclamation mark.
All right, going on in. Only going to catch the Nocturne here, but the cask is huge. And I think the Wallets have just got the job done here, as it's not the cleanest dive. Dudu actually getting pretty low. Teddy running around a little bit. They got to be careful, but the flash on in, and that is why you pick Jarvan into Sivir, because she cannot run away. And down he will go. Teddy, the last hope of this team here, DRX. Look to be the second team to fall to DNF here at the LCK 2025. And DNF, after months of losing, it looks like they have finally figured it out. They have finally been able to put it together and get a victory here once again.
Quantum looks relieved. He steps in. He steps up. Berserker having a night out. And D and Freaks keep the candle of that hope alive. On the side of T1 here, like, it's very risky the way that this could shape up, because if your Trundle falls behind or you're not winning in sides and you're trying to set up team fights around Jin, you don't have that hard engagement.
Staxi is going to get into the Aurora. We have seen a couple times where he's just kind of sprinting at the Aurora, probably getting some amount of stacks in those traits.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's more than like 2.
You know, sometimes T1 are going to get this first streak with the prior they have, Shocker. Sometimes when I'm playing top lane, and I'm kind of multitasking on my computer, I put that Grasp rune in, I'll look at the counter matchup I'm in. In early game, Valdez.
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, T1 have control, and Gen.G have identified that, okay, we kind of have to sit back, but take a look at this timing. They say, okay, well, Faker's backing. They don't really see owner on the map. They just got the dragon right, so let's try to get some consolation prize elsewhere. They're going to get 2 of the grubs, not all 3.
Consider also, too, Valdez, that like Wukong can't really impact lanes pre-6. So that's another big win here for T1 when they draft these winning lanes, that, you know, it's a soft counter, right, to the Wukong, and that it just really hurts his potential to actually protect those losing lanes. The comfort with these champs and the lane power they have might be enough to get them over the line.
No mist. He's in a lot of trouble here. He does have flash at least. He's pushing forward into the turret. A lot of needles do come down. There's no TPs available. There's no jungler on the way. He's just dead. First blood goes over to Doran in the counter matchup. He's going to love that gank from Owner here in this early game.
Just look at the cross map opportunities, and they aren't there. Chovy's pushing a wave bottom as Ruler catches a wave in the mid lane.
To one. Oh, and we got a play here once again on a Chovy. Still no flash from the earlier Realm Warp, but now he's just able to get in and punish. It's another kill. It goes over to Owner, which isn't exactly ideal, but it's still very good for the team.
Still a little bit worried.
A bit of a setup brewing here from Gen.G. Looks like they want to take some kind of fight. We have Exhaust here on a Ruler as Keria is calling for this. And now the Magical Journey. Looks like Keria can't quite get in there, but now the TP on in into immediate Tempered Fate. Faker is in that backline with no escape as a bunch of damage is being done. Doran there as well, but the needles go in, and Faker actually got out of there. Doran now in the backline himself as Faker does get taken down eventually. Gen.G trying to press forward. They got this strong Gwen trying to frontline, but they can't really deal with Guma. And so now they're on the run, but can they run away from the Jhin? Is really the question. The shots, a couple of them do ring true, but the others do miss.
Is there. Keria, guess what he's got? His Realm Warp for the exit, and it just feels like that shouldn't have happened. Like, it doesn't feel like you should be able to get away with that, and yet T1 do.
Yeah, that's the way it goes here at Legend Group. Sometimes these teams just pull it out of a hat.
They're gonna get a whole turret.
Yeah, he's just gonna get this one here. Straight for the Rift Heralds. A big group up, tons of wardage, and
that's
commitment from Gen.G on the top side of the map.
Don't have too much of a lead now. I think the answer is no. And they want to keep on keeping enough hold of this tempo to make sure they can continue to dictate fights on their terms. They have double dragon, but they do not have prio for the third. Faker's just going to get another turret.
Yeah, it seems to be his game plan, is just let them get objectives and just kind of side lane. It's better than not side laning. Dura going to take a ton of damage. Doran as well lays down the ult, but they're not contesting for this. You see that Owner is in the top jungle of Gen.G. Trying to steal it was Guma against Ryze, against a Jhin, right? Makes it much easier for them to lock down, especially with that bit of a lack of engage that you were talking about as they engage on the Trundle. Trying to take down Owner is not going to happen, and immediately Duro just gets burst to shreds, and the rest of Gen.G just on the run, not really wanting to take the rest of the fight. Doran a little bit low, but you see that Keen is backing, maybe looking to TP back into this fight.
Yeah, some heals coming through just a little bit there from the Bard. Guma still has ult, and both summoners, so he's actually feeling pretty happy to just walk forward here and take some pot shots. Now getting engaged on the right back.
Canyon, he is so close to that. Keria jumping on in, gonna keep two of them in prison. He does go down, but that means they get the kill on a Canyon. It's actually gigantic as now Guma, the Scissors are pushing forward. The Keen is not going to get any kills. Ruler now just sprinting at them, actually can do a lot, but no, he's taking too much from Faker, totally ignored the Ryze, and it's a massive mistake, and T1 turned this fight around. They were already ahead, but now they're just getting the bonus kills on top of bonus kills. Will T1 get everything in the fight?
I mean, this might just be the game-ending fight. Straight up, 5 dead for Gen.G. Who cares about a Mountain Soul point? It's T1, Baron spawns at 25, and they'll start it at 25-10. Doran gonna get the whole mid turret. And this team's team fighting, their synergy, it looks like they break the rules of League of Legends. They do things that aren't possible. They're doing this to Gen.G.
One plus an extra rel and the Baron. So now it's like 8,000 gold to lead for T1. The compositions begin to have less meaning as we get to these sorts of numbers. And Keria's on the flank. Looking for Ruler here, no doubts, trying to get into that backline. They have the full wraparound. They're going to try to turn and immediately jump on a Faker who just goes golden. With the help of Keria, goes golden again. And the rest of his team is just cleaning up. The wallets are gigantic. T1 are styling on Gen.G.
Not even close. Chovy running as fast as his phase rush will take him, but I don't think he gets out of this one.
They're just playing with their food at this point.
I mean, Faker had TP and Realm Warp. He had 2 ways to join the fight. He had Baron buff. If the fight doesn't look optimal, if they don't think they can get that flank angle, he can take out an inhibitor. He's Ryze with Baron in the mid lane, but he decides to come over, rotates quickly, gets that flank. Who says stopwatch Sonya's double stasis is dead? Keria says it's very much alive. That he just lives through everything with a safe Rod of Ages, Seraphs, and quick arm guard buys. The guy is just unkillable.
He's really making them regret not banning Bard. I'll tell you that because I don't think we're going to see a lot of Keria playing Bard happen. Coordinated by them.
The closest one was that fight like at the blue buff on blue side, you know, where T1 went in aggressively and Faker barely got out. Like that was the most fight Gen.G's had, and they didn't even really walk away with a W on that one either.
Right, trying to make a play here once again. They're really trying to bully Ruler. It's very obvious. They're like, okay, we got a target on this guy's back. And now Gen.G down 13,000 gold, looking for the angle. Oh man, just dropping Aurora ultimates on top of Toby's head as the shots ring true. Owner just running at them at this point in time, gonna remove some blockers. There's the stun, and Ruler's dead. They get him first again. And yeah, T1 really just styling on them at this point, just having a lot of fun. The fans are getting a great kick out of this game, at least on the T1 side. You saw the facial expressions of the Gen.G fans earlier. Didn't look great.
This is just a dominant victory, no two ways about it. I feel like we didn't see Gen.G at all in game one, and T1 making a statement here. Keen doing a lot of damage, but I think with him being really the only one left, it's not going to matter here, Valdez. How do you recover from a loss like this? I mean, Gen.G's played a lot of tough series that went the distance this year. I think they're the team that can handle it, but Lucian, perhaps the peel of the tidal wave could be arguably more team fight value, but I kind of like the idea of just sending Jarvan in with Shockwave and then also having an additional knockup.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still Yunara. And by the way, Canyon coming down here quick. Level 4 is going to find Owner and goes immediately in. The Xin Zhao loves to go for the trades, but Guma and Keria are quicker on the play, and Canyon's getting burst down, and down he goes. First blood given over to the Lucian of all champions, as now the flash comes in. Double flash away by Gen.G. Looking for a bit more. The double buff here on Guma as well. Wants a little bit more, wants to take down Ruler, but it's not quite going to happen.
And not quite off the ground.
Like if the Ambessa was able to get something going, if the Galio, you know, who does look to be going a bit tankier, which makes sense with the Ambessa and the Yunara, but yeah, if they all fall behind, which at this point, you know, the top lane is okay. Like maybe Keen's got an angle, but yeah, this bottom lane is bleeding big time, and T1 got the first dragon as well, which is Infernal. If Gen.G's mental is doing okay, that's kind of the first thing I always like to check in on. Obviously, okay, looking for this. Guma going in alone. Big mistake here. He will immediately be punished as Barrier comes through as well. Just wasted, gives the kill over to Ruler, who is now right back in the game.
I mean, a flop like that, that's all you need. Keria was not anywhere nearby.
Trying to make a play in top lane. Doran all by himself. Thought he was safe with his team taking the grubs nearby. He is actually going to live as they continue to go in on the Doran, who's going to touch the wind, becomes lightning. The damage, though, not quite enough to take down Canyon. But with red buff, I think eventually they get the job done. Meanwhile, Faker. Remember the early game of game number 1 was very much, you know, T1 was dominating all the lanes. They got a lot of incremental leads from there. They were able to take some big objectives, and it kind of just flew by in an instant. This game much closer. While in the fight, as we do see that Ruler has to back away immediately. Bit of damage did come in. Ruler wasn't really in trouble, but they don't have their Rakan anymore. Now Ruler in a bit of trouble, but they go in on the Guma and burst him down. Canyon says, now it's my time to get it done. Owner desperate for the kill on Aduro. They just can't get this dang Rakan, and it's going to be a double kill here for the Xin Zhao. Meanwhile, Faker getting bullied in mid by Keen of all people, who has ganked, and Faker just did not expect that.
Okay, big catch here onto Canyon. I don't know if it's enough, though, and in fact, Doran in trouble.
Who's getting caught this time? It's not going to be Canyon. Picks up 2 kills, and the Gen.G fans are losing it right now.
Oh, I thought you guys were having some trouble down there.
We're going to have to look at this top fight. Doran's in a lot of trouble. He's trying to run to his jungler. I think Keen should sniff this one out, but he's still going to go in, gets the kill. As now Redemption is coming down here. Gonna help out the side of T1 as going to miss a bunch here on Keen. He's still going in. Owner doesn't quite have the damage. Gonna miss the flag and drag. Back in goes Keen. Not scared of these guys. Takes him down again. And meanwhile in mid, Guma's just dead as well. And this time it's Gen.G's turn to just absolutely Harlem Globetrotter.
I mean, Faker, where
all
you
over
going?
the rift. Faker doesn't know where he's going. He's lost.
Well, Canyon decides he doesn't want to trade flashes and wants to get a dragon. Faker's just trying to pull him off the dragon, I suppose.
Oh, boy.
Chemtech soul, so we didn't high roll, but it's not a double dragon anyways. So if game 1 was Harlem Globetrotters, maybe game 2 is a little bit of a rehearsal. Maybe some of the bugs need to be worked out. I don't know what to say in this one. Maybe Unara is broken, but somebody count that.
All of them. Oh, we're doing it again. This time it's actually T1 trying to take down Keen, as they have tried many times before.
Another redemption.
Keen lives. Owner's going in. Big shockwave is going to catch 2. As Keen, they finally did it. They finally got him. And at the end of the day, it takes Guma and Keria to come over here and zone Canyon away, but Gen.G are winning everywhere.
Yeah, Chovy gets a whole turret bottom side. They already had feats of strength. It'll be his second turret he picks up this game. And they're going to get the Herald as well. You know, we were talking about how like it almost was over. Like, oh man, Guma has such a lead. All they have to do is not mess it up.
Immediately caster curse.
Yeah. And even though it looks like we're heading to game 3, yeah, Sundered Sky's pretty good. Unara also.
Are they trying to kill
good.
Keen again?
Yeah, and guess who's here? Keen's best companion.
Really trying to kill Keen, and I think this time they did it. The damage is there. He's not able to get all the different dashes and procs and all the fun stuff, so
maybe at least force him off of it.
Objective bounties already.
Yeah.
17 minutes in.
But I mean, Chovy gets a turret in exchange, and sure, the bounty makes it a trade up for T1, but are you really gaining that much? I mean, they don't even get the turret yet, in fact.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
A TP.
I feel like the bigger issue is that, you know,
bye.
Are they still there?
I think yes.
Yes. They're still there. They're absolutely still there. TP's even Guma's here. He's just able to come in. That's 2 kills and maybe 3. Oh no, Gen.G, what's going on here? Is now trying to ult away. He actually will be able to. Nicely done by Chovy to make the best of a bad situation.
That should finally be the turret for T1 in the bottom lane.
This game is just wild.
Yeah, I want off T1 Gen.G Game 2's Wild Ride.
A robot, he would have stopped that. Sometimes I think he is based on what I see, but yeah, now I know it's not true.
Can we kill Keen an additional time?
I mean, the damage from Dorn is actually pretty legitimate at this point, as now it's going to be the flash out. Owner getting sped up, but they say, okay, we'll just take the turret instead. Meanwhile, the Drake is going to go over to Gen.G, so they get that first Chemtech Drake.
So right now, I want to remind everyone, because T1's had a few wins in a row, that's still a 4,000 gold lead. And Herald is crashing, starting to threaten these inner turrets. I mean, this is the kind of control Gen.G has right now, and Ruler is ready to fight. He is ready to press R.
Oh, speaking of which, Keen immediately finds the backline. Faker in a ton of trouble, has to just flash out of their Owner. He's the sacrifice for the rest of the team. Doran gonna get charmed up. Keen actually gonna go down though. Did Gen.G push too far? Bit of burst damage does come out, but Ruler a bit low. Chovy looking for the turn. Chovy, he's got the angle, but everybody tries to flash away. They only get the Nami. Still, it's going to be a pick as they look for Faker as well. Canyon on the backside here. Faker just going forward. Knows he's dead. And Gen.G find 2 more.
It looked scary for a moment. Cannot catch Ruler. Faker tried, because this is just going to be Otacon. All of that bottom side pressure was putting deep vision into the jungle, forcing a fight that T1 didn't want to take because Otacon was spawning. Had spawned and now is in the hands of Gen.G. Because I was a little bit skeptical. By the way, Ruler was like the only one who's like, this champ owns in lane, by the way. Everyone else is kind of like, it's a little situational. And then Ruler had to play into the Lucian Nami, got owned, but then where she's had the most success outside of the 2v2, right? Like, you could just walk up on Guma and be like, all right, you can't out-damage me. By the way, you're running Electrocute. That was really cool in the first few minutes of the game, but not going to be enough damage to kill me. Got a barrier, right? Like, he got the barrier in the last big skirmish that happened around the blue buff, but on spawn, Gen.G gonna look for this Baron. Chovy has ult, can be there in a moment's notice. Faker has TP as well, but they have that one sneaky ward. mean, that's the best you can really say about T1's position here.
They're going to look for Ruler. I think they're going to try to wombo Ruler, but I don't know if they can. Meanwhile, the turn is coming in from the side of Gen.G. They want to just go for the fight here. Meanwhile, Faker's going to go down. Not even sure what happened to him as he just kind of got killed. A mortal reminder finished here for Guma. Some more crit on the side of Yunara, hiding on Bush once again, but Jovi the tank is the one that checks the brush, and that's what you want. The charm comes in on Adoran, and he is just evaporated. Keen once more, gonna go in on it 4, as now we've got the follow-up from the Galio that's gonna keep him alive, although I don't think they need to continue in, but now Ruler finds his angle, just presses forward, and there's nothing that they can do, as the Yunara just rips them to shreds, picks up 2 kills, and Gen.G have this one in the bag.
Yeah. And then this Yunara, we're like, I don't know, she's gonna get off the ground. Like, she's got a Cole, you know, Cole Doran's blade. He's got a pickaxe. There's just no way.
Like out in and out, absorbing damage until everything had been used, and then Yunara gets her chance, and it's just GG. Owner, yeah, you're gonna get Mega Cone engaged on. Make it kill number 10 for Ruler, and looking for even more, as Canyon will pick up a 6th kill of his own.
I do like how you mentioned how well that was played by Gen.G that last fight we had in the replay, because basically T1 were backwards leapfrogging to try to maybe jump on Yunara, but it couldn't happen as Faker is just...
Yeah, well, he's going to be kited out and killed. The 7th kill goes over to Canyon. Man, these games, Ruler's just running at him, eating a culling to the face, doesn't care at all. And yeah, the game is over. Game 1 was extremely one-sided to T1. This one is the same one-sided to Gen.G. Yeah, there was like that 5 minutes that T1 had, and then it was just over. And we're going to a game 3. Our wishes come true.
Here we go, game 3. 30 minutes here, almost on the dot. T1 routed. It's pretty good into Silas as well.
Into Silas, yeah.
I mean, you just sit there, you poke, you harass. But ultimately, I think the Corki is safer. We'll see if he wants to go first strike and just try to generate a gold lead there.
The amount of potential they have to kill this Yorick feels a little bit less than what we saw in the bottom lane.
Jovi teleporting back to lane also has an advantage there as Owner.
All right, trying to get on top of the Ziggs, and I think they might just be able to do it. The flash ahead of time is going to work out. First blood given over to Doran's Jax. He does immediately get traded back, but that kill only went over to Duro.
6 right now.
Yeah.
As Owner's like, oh, you still
boy.
seem to not be level 6, by the way. And these seem to be micro.
This is like some peanut level of just crazy, I'm going to take everything away from you. Owner, did he go too far is the question. The bomb is going to miss, and it looks like he absolutely did. Duro's going to get the kill. I don't know how he always does this. Duro getting fed.
It's very strong top side here for T1. Bottom side is where the favor is for Gen.G, and Guma's going to get some more money to even that out, in fact, take a lead himself. This fight's going to get a little scrappy on Dragon. Or maybe, no, it won't. I just wanted to do a play-by-play handoff just in case.
It's
and over to you, Valdez.
Yeah, most prolific Ziggs player of all time. Guma, he is Xayah with Featherstorm and Flash, so there's the Flash, and there's the Featherstorm, but now we've got the pull on in, and he's just dead. Meanwhile, got a Nocturne trying to save, and a TP coming in here. As now the ultimate does go in, stolen ultimate here from the side of Faker, and Duro looks to be very much dead. Keria wants a bit more. Gonna get this route down onto Jovi, who takes a bunch of damage, but they know they don't have the kill pressure. Ruler comes out of nowhere. You just stayed there in the top side. Oh, the flash aggressive satchel is crazy into the wall, and he immediately dies. But it was awesome.
Yeah, and like, Ruler decides to join the fight instead of fully backing there, which gives them the opportunity, and then Faker with a really cool re-engage himself. Like, it was just one of those scrappy fights where it ends up being a relatively even exchange. Owner will get 2 of these 3 grubs, which feels fantastic when you have the Jax Nocturne. Some value into this Xayah, but I feel like he hasn't really threatened him or really put him down in any way. As we have a bit of that skirmish I was talking about eventuating now.
Yeah, trying to get in on the Yorick, and that should be enough, but guess who's here? Canyon for the turn, and he is going to make the play happen. Keen extremely low, but continuing on the play. Owner wants a bit more, and he'll get killed instead. Canyon just takes him down. Not a fun time into the Ziggs.
But it's kind of like what Chronicler was talking about earlier, where these teams know each other so well, but Gen.G just has such a great read on T1. They're like, I think Nocturne's looking for this. Let's sneak Canyon up there. We got the stacked wave on the top turret. And as ships pass in the night, TP escape from Keen.
G taking the Infernal Drake in live. Looks like they should get it without much of a hitch.
I mean, this is a very tense series here for Gen.G. They came in as relative favorites, I would say. It was pretty close lead here. Stolen Nautilus ult, and delay the turret take.
Yeah, for just about a second, or as long as the Nautilus ult actually lasted. But they did not stop attacking the turret after that. Sticking point for them. Definitely want to get Owner and Doran ahead, and that's going to be the satchel to take down mid turret. So you said 2, but it's actually 3. Okay, so we try to bait out mistakes. We get a little bit of chip damage into this top turret. Looks like they should be able to get it with the Ziggs.
Yeah, because all you got to do is get it into satchel range, and then you drop that satchel, and now you just take Otacon. And what angle does T1 have to approach this? Like, Nocturne walking through with Nico, all of this vision. They can't get here fast enough. Who do you engage on? You got to get past Duro first. He's the bouncer. TP from Jax.
Yeah, and from Faker trying to get in as the Rift Herald summoned. They have vision now. T1 trying to push in. Duro very separated, actually, kind of by himself on the left side. Gen.G abandoning the play, and they'll lose their Nautilus for it as well. T1 starting this one up. Carrier's taking the Rift Herald for a little drive. Not exactly sure. Keen finally does TP into this one. And it's Otacon flip for the ages, taking quite a while. Doran going in, they're just trying to zone them away. As the engage comes in from T1, they lose 2 though, and Owner about to follow. Guma desperate to do something, but instead, he just gets autoed down by the Ziggs. And Gen.G, so much control of the play. They lose their Nautilus, they don't care. They still win it handily. And now Doran gonna okay, trying to get this one, but he's not gonna get in range. And Chovy just picks up yet another kill.
And the fight's a wash.
All right, trying to make a play here onto the Corki. It looks like Chovy, with this flash, is going to use it to get away. Meanwhile, Duro is just kind of left out to dry once again. Tons of damage, though, coming out from Ruler. Meanwhile, Faker has a Vendetta against the red buff instead.
Yeah, this was a cool idea. And a cool dodge.
All right, trying to make this play. That's actually very good. Ruler, maybe a little bit overconfident here. He is going to be traded out. And that shutdown goes to the Xayah. Meanwhile, Owner is going to be zone 4, and Doran is just in the front line. Yeah, I think Gen.G are handling this just fine.
Yeah, it looked a little scary for Keen there for a second.
So wonky, Wolf.
But at the end of the day, you know, Doran was like really trying to maximize.
Yeah, might as well. Don't even need the Baron. Just push a little bit as, a little flank angle coming on in. They're trying to get onto the Ziggs. Can they burst them down? Absolutely not. Not with the disengage cone. As Carrier going to go down. Faker as well is going to bite the dust. There's a big bomb over the top here. Doran taken out, and it looks like Gen.G, they just have way too much momentum in this game.
Yeah, and Guma, can he get out here? Duro does not have flash.
Ult available.
Either. I think he's fine, but that's the 6th and final turret outside of the base of T1. Baron hasn't even spawned yet, and Keen is teleporting in to look for the inhibitor break. And there's just no one here, no one alive to stop the onslaught that is Gen.G.
Yeah, just feels like Gen.G, when they don't let T1 get like the Giga T1 draft,
can't do anything.
Yeah.
Jovi's 4K and he's 7 kills on this Corki that was flexed to mid. The blind Silas is not working for Faker.
Yeah, was an interesting idea. You know, comp-wise, it kind of made sense, but immediately Gen.G had the answer as they saw the damage on that Baron for just a little bit. And now we have the counter engage here from Carrier, only going to find the front 2, and they're full health still as the big bomb right in the back line going to take them both down. And even the Xayah was in there as well. This game is over. Gen.G just deciding when they want to end it.
Very, very fast game here. And when you consider the level of play these two teams have, you don't expect games to end 26.5 minutes, but that is what is going to happen. Another one-sided one, and Gen.G in another full series Not game 5, but in this case, game 3. This time we'll come out victorious and get revenge for that previous loss to T1.
Yeah, it was looking a little bit rough after game 1. That was very one-sided, but it wasn't meant to be. The series will be remembered, rather, as a Gen.G victory.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.